After exploring Nara Temple at night, we then headed back to our Airbnb to rest and recharge for the next morning, eager to explore more of Japan. This time, we're actually exploring the Osaka Aquarium, I believe Kaiyukan. I think I said that right. So from Nara Station, we took the subway train all the way to Osaka Station, getting off and changing platforms to get on a different subway train to get us closer to the aquarium, which in total it took about like 2 hours to get there from Nara. So one of the things about the Osaka Aquarium that we were all very excited for was the fact that they had an actual whale shark in one of the enclosures there. So we were all very excited to see an animal that big up close. Now, when we saw the whale shark, I was surprised by the fact of how not big he was. I don't know what I expected, but it looked smaller than I thought it would. Don't get me wrong, it's still an incredible animal and massive in its own right, but I just thought it would be bigger. I mean, this is a creature that can grow up to 60 feet long. And after doing a little research, I found out that one, the whale shark's name is Kai, and two, they can grow between 18 to 30 feet long. Largest one ever measured was 60 feet. Kai in the tank, he's actually only 18 feet, so he or she is actually more on the smaller side of the species, but I have a feeling that's something to do with him being kept in captivity. Visiting the Kaiyukan Aquarium was an unforgettable experience. The vibrant marine life and captivating exhibits made every moment worthwhile, and capturing photos and videos of the animals definitely added an extra layer of joy to the visit. This is my favorite shot from the aquarium trip. I love the dark background. It really makes the jellyfish pop out and make it look like it's glowing. Another thing about the aquarium is this sunfish actually got really lonely because the aquarium is going under renovations right now. So what they did was they just hung up a bunch of fake people, and I guess that fixed it, which that's pretty cool. So fast forwarding to the night, we decided to head to Dotonbori, the famous entertainment district in Osaka. But before we did that, we had to pick up some food and stop at the camera store for a new lens.
That new lens feeling? Yeah. First shot. Ready?
So after a night of fun in Dotonbori, we decided to go to a church service in Japan, which was a suggestion from my father. But before we do that, I gotta get my camera clean. So we all were pretty much thinking the same thing. We did not want to have to go to church. Really, the only reason we were going is because my father requested that we do. I mean, we're on vacation in Japan. There are far more exciting things that we can do instead of going. So we just wanted to get it out of the way as fast as possible. Unexpectedly, this became an experience I'll never forget. The church was filled with people from around the world, warm and welcoming. After the service, members kindly offered us rides, but our group was too big to fit in their cars, so we politely declined, except for one. His name was Yoshiki. He offered to walk with us, guiding us to Osaka Castle. Along the way, we bonded over shared interests, and I genuinely felt I made a friend that day. But when we arrived at Osaka Castle, the crowd had swept us in, and just like that, Yoshiki was gone. No goodbyes, no way for me to thank him. The weight of that lingered, making it really hard for me to enjoy the castle. Then I remembered another church service was happening soon. On a whim, I bought a small gift and returned, hoping he'd be there. And he was. His face lit up when he saw me. I handed him the cup I had bought, a small token of gratitude.
We exchanged contact information, I attended the final service, played games with everybody, and learned about their lives in Japan. This wasn't a part of the plan at all, but it became one of the most meaningful moments of the trip. I'm truly grateful for it. Osaka is bursting with vibrant colors and organized chaos that makes it a perfect place for street photography. I couldn't think of a better city for it. Well, maybe New York or Hong Kong, but Japan as a whole has something for almost every type of photographer. The only exception being astrophotographers. For that, you might find it really hard to find a spot where there's little light pollution. For that, I'd recommend going to Norway, which might just be on our itinerary. I'd love to take a crack at astrophotography one day. In fact, I have a cousin who specializes in it, so I'm definitely going to drag him along from free masterclass. Now I'd love to take you through some of my favorite photos from Osaka. This shot perfectly encapsulates the atmosphere of a quiet underground passage in Japan. The muted tones and the soft diffused lighting give it a slightly cinematic feel in my opinion. Almost like a scene from a movie, the yellow tactile path running through the frame adds a pop of color and guides the viewer's eyes forward, creating a sense of movement and direction. This is a classic scene from Dotonbori, the heart of Osaka's food culture. The giant red octopus sign immediately grabs your attention, a playful and iconic representation of the takoyaki that this region is famous for. I love the details here, from the lanterns to the signage, all perfectly capturing the cozy vibe of Osaka's street food stalls. This shot offers a unique perspective, showing the world through the car's side mirror. The warm glow of the city lights adds a nice touch, and the soft bokeh in the background gives the scene a gentle feel. I really like that you can see me taking the photo, connecting the act of taking the photo with the subject. It feels personal, almost like a quiet moment to appreciate the beauty of the night. This is one of my favorite photos from this trip. I love how the train controls have a vintage charm, and the tracks naturally draw your eye through the scene. As you follow them, you start to notice other details, the people waiting on the platform, and above it all, the beautiful clouds drifting across a soft, baby blue sky. So that wraps up the Osaka and Nara part of this trip. If you enjoyed the video, as always, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. In the next part, we'll be exploring Kyoto and Takayama. Takayama is a beautiful mountain town just north of Nagoya. And thank you for watching.
Behind you.
How do I turn it on?
It's right there.
It's right there.
Show some more ass.